Hey guys, and welcome back to the Layah Heilpern show. I think it's been a while since I've done a video like this, but with the markets right now, I just had to jump on here and do a video. Things right now are absolutely crazy. I think this has to be one of the most interesting bull markets I've ever seen. Yes, I do think we're still in a bull market. All the hype has been around meme coins, and nobody has really cared much about utility, which I think is such a shame because there's so many interesting things being built in the crypto space right now. And, I want to talk about that. And I think that the next leg of this bull run is really going to be dedicated to utility. We even have Donald Trump's White House crypto summit happening tomorrow night. That's with major key players in the industry. It's with people who are building, people who are interested in tech and innovation. You have CZ, you have Vitalik. It's going to be really interesting. I really believe the next leg of this bull run is going to be all about utility. So today, I actually want to talk to somebody really interesting who has been building in the crypto space for a while. So joining me on the show today is Alexander Guseff, the founder and the CEO of Tectum. Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hi, Layah. Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah, of course. We've got a lot of people tuning in right now. And, I really want to talk about where we're at in this market. It's such an interesting time. It seems that so many people have just been focused so much on meme coins, and there's been a lot of pump and dumps, presidents launching coins. The Argentinian coin went to zero. It was just a really crazy few months. And nobody really seems to care about the tech and the innovation anymore. So before we talk about what Tectum is and what you guys are building, I'd just love to have your take on what we've seen over the last few months. We haven't even had an altcoin season yet. It's just been purely pump and dump. So what's your take on all of that?
Well, I think that my personal opinion is just like that's what when water rolls back before the tsunami comes. It always happens like this. The people who there is always going to be a grade of people who are just too busy to dig deep into the matter of things, and they're looking to what's really going on, and they dump. And there are people who really understand what's really going on, and they understand that this is the future. And what's been going on your side of the ocean in the White House is really making lots of people excited.
Yeah, and I really think it's going to be utility and innovation, which is going to spark the next leg of this bull run. And, like I said, the White House has this huge meeting tomorrow where all these major people are getting together and talking about actual utility. So I think that's going to be really exciting. We can finally put behind us all the pump and dumps because it's not been any good. But, Tectum, we've actually interviewed Tectum before on the show, and we spoke about the price of the token, and the token did amazing. I think it was about this time last year, the coin was just pumping. I know a lot of my followers bought it and did really well on that. So tell us about Tectum. Like, what are you guys building? What are you doing? It'd be so interesting to hear.
Since you mentioned utility, I'm a firm believer that a performance, the sooner or later performance always win.
Yeah.
They will, because they have better stamina. They used to falls. They used to falling down. They used to getting up off their knees, and the time of performance is coming. And we have seen many times when no-name coin goes up 1,000 times, and then it goes down 2,000 times. And then we have seen situations like when coin is like at $2-3 and suddenly it's $1,000 because millions of people just realize how massive and how powerful its utility is. Unfortunately, you are absolutely correct. The focus primarily been on getting immediate effect of your investments right here, right now. I'm not sure. I'm no prophet, and would probably hold myself from dividing our Web3 society into A's and B's. But I'd say that there is so many so many of us been cheated by our own expectations and by technologies which did not come through. They never came through because technology is so new. It's so unregulated. It is so versatile. It is so unknown to us. We don't understand. It took me 3 years to understand what Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
Because I was born into an account-based system. I could not understand what token-based system is. It took me almost 5 years to understand that the Bitcoin wallet is just a private key. And it's me. I'm an engineer. Just imagine somebody who just paid $2 for Bitcoin and he sees it at $2,000. Of course, he was gonna sell. So answering your question in 2 words is yes. I think our time is coming.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think that people just don't have the patience to sit and learn something new. Like I said, it took years to learn about Bitcoin. I mean, I'm personally still learning, like every day you learn something new about crypto, Bitcoin, whatever it is that you didn't know. So I agree with you. People didn't have the patience, but perhaps now, given all the pump and dumps and all the scams, people might actually start to think, well, now I do need to turn my attention to utility, what projects are actually building, what coins am I going to actually be using in the future. So tell us about Tectum, because from my perspective, it's a really great scaling solution for Bitcoin to keep it really simple. So
it would be really, yeah, it would be at this point in time when we have dedicated last 2.5 years of our lives to SoftNote, it probably would be a little bit difficult for me to talk about Tectum without mentioning SoftNote.
Yeah.
But in 10 words, I would say that SoftNote versus Tectum, or SoftNote and Tectum, would be a SoftNote is probably the most disruptive way of creating a wallet management interface, while Tectum is the fastest way to massively massively manage wallets as a framework. So Tectum is a wallet management framework, and SoftNote is a wallet management interface.
So why is SoftNote, in your opinion, the most disruptive technology that we've seen?
Oh, because SoftNote is the best way to transfer Bitcoin with a most predictable fee structure, well, more precisely zero fees. But since every one of us gotta pay our way through life, so we have created a commercial model. It's a build up on top of decentralized model you already know about, which you actually dedicated our last interview to. So, but primarily SoftNote is dedicated to leaving Bitcoin alone, because Bitcoin already formed and proved itself as a perfect, is probably, if not the best in the world right now, a store of value. While Tectum has proven itself as a best transaction engine. So SoftNote is a way of passing over ownership of wallet A from first person to another. Instead of transferring funds from wallet A to wallet B, we are actually relieving Bitcoin network from the load of transactions. You see, SoftNote will never do to Bitcoin network what Ordinals did last year. SoftNote will leave Bitcoin network with the best work it does, transferring large amounts between large holders, where the store of value is the name of the game.
Yeah, no, I think there was a lot of controversy with ordinals last year because it changed, the base layer, and people think it should just be left alone. So it's really interesting what you just said. So I just want to reiterate that so our viewers can actually understand that point, that the SoftNote, it's a scaling solution, right? For Bitcoin, but it doesn't change the base layer. Obviously, it's something different, but you're not transferring coins, you're transferring ownership of the wallet.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just elaborate on that in a bit more detail, because I've never heard of that before, and I just want to make sure people really understand the concept. You're not sending money; you're transferring ownership of a wallet. Like, that's really interesting.
Do you mind if I show one?
Yeah, go for it.
So
Oh, I
okay.
think your background. Okay, cool. We got it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do something. Okay. If I hold it next to my face, it actually
Yeah,
reads it.
there you go. Yeah, that works.
So you see that QR code? It's actually a web page. So every and this is a Bitcoin wallet address. It's a live Bitcoin. Blue means it's a layer one wallet, and it's nominal. So we, at the best of our ability, we try to replicate and adopt the property of cash money. Why cash money? Because for centuries and millennia, billions and billions of people were practicing and using we're tactile creatures.
Yeah.
So you gotta touch it. Our adoption rate is slightly over 8%, and crypto adoption rate is 8%. Something is going wrong.
Right.
And that's, at least that's how we thought in 2021. So, and we decided to create something which would still remain Bitcoin, but function like cash.
That makes sense.
And that's where it all clicked together when I asked one of my best guys. I said, and we were sitting, and we were actually in great distress because somebody just announced 50 million transactions per second blockchain, and we just barely reached a million, right? In a lab conditions, and we're sitting, and I said, listen, guys, this is a rat race. We will never win.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a faster guy.
Yeah.
And suddenly I have this explosion in my brain. I'm saying, guys, what is it going to take to write a program which mints SoftNote wallets? They're like, no brainer. How long is it going to take for this program to mint 10 million Bitcoin wallets? And he says, 2.5 minutes, 2-3 minutes. And I say, well, can we instantly turn these wallets into web pages, individual, one per wallet? And he says, well, of course we can. We're an IT company. We can do anything. And I said, well, you cannot pass one wallet to another by passing over private key, because private key cannot change. You cannot change a private key. Can we write a program which encrypts private key into ever-changing password? We have a blockchain, right? We can write chain of blocks. We can write a smart contract which encrypts private key and turns it into a short password like this one. I'm gonna quickly show it. It's because it's a real Bitcoin. And they said, sure, we can. And 6 months later, it worked. And we realized that we really hit the jackpot. And now we're at the point where banks want to talk with us because they realize that this is the best way to remit. Big guys look and they ask questions, and they're like, well, how can that be? How can you remit without actually transferring funds? And when we explain and when we understand, and we like shooting videos like every day, Layah. We got a library of videos, demonstration videos, which would probably not fit on a hard drive by this time. And people looking at the system and they're saying like, oh my God, why nobody has done it before? I don't have that answer. I don't know why nobody has done it before, but we have done it.
Nobody is as smart. What can I say? You guys are just thinking outside the box. Well, quite literally thinking outside the box.
Despair. 50. When you spend 6 years reaching million transactions per second, and suddenly shows up of 50, you understand that you can never win, and you become desperate, and it drives you. Like John Travolta said, that the best masterpieces sometimes are made under the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, diamonds are made under pressure. That's what they say. So it's pretty interesting. So how does the SoftNote, how is it the PayFi solution to make crypto payments accessible worldwide? Because it's physical, right? You know, you have this physical SoftNote. So how does it make crypto payments accessible worldwide?
A two-tier system. It's gotta be two-tier system. We have mobile app, softnote.com. You can download it. It's available both at the App Store for iPhones and for Android devices. And you just import it. You scan it, the same QR code. You click import, and
Yeah.
it gets. And when it's imported inside of your SoftNote wallet, it just becomes a balance. So basically, we created a two-tier system. One works in a nominal mode, nominal, because you can change this. You see, if I come to buy something from you for this
Yeah.
amount, and I need to spend less on that, you have to give me change.
Yeah.
So you have to convert it into the balance-based mode, which means in our language, we kind of invented a bunch of our own terminology. People, it's going to take time for society to get used to it, but we call it import. And when you import that SoftNote into your digital wallet, it becomes a balance.
Got it.
It dissolves in the pool. It becomes a balance, and now you can spend 25 cents and buy a pack of chewing gum for 25 cents at a gas station of Bitcoin of zero fees.
Wow. So I'm curious then, why did you decide to go with this model when it comes to, you know, mass adoption and helping scale Bitcoin? Because there's so many different, not just Bitcoin, but crypto scaling solutions, right? You know, like you have the Lightning Network, which I wouldn't really say has done much, to be honest, but you have already a lot of scaling solutions. So why is the SoftNote the answer to mass adoption? Because also, you know, I think it's interesting that we're having this conversation, and especially because more people are joining the live stream now, I just kind of want to go over a little bit. You know, it's interesting having this conversation now. Obviously, we spoke at the beginning how the president is having a crypto summit tomorrow at the White House with all major key industry leaders, and they will be talking about mass adoption. You know, like now is the time to figure out how do we scale, how, like people, you know, people who have never heard of, who've never spoken about crypto are calling me up asking me like, oh, I own, you know, Solana, or I own some Bitcoin. So like now is the time that we talk about scaling. So why would you say that the SoftNote is the best scaling solution for mass adoption?
Because it doesn't require a network. It can be handed over. It can be payment. We don't even call it payments. We call it handover, because you really hand it over, just like cash money. I can take a picture of this, and which in fact I probably should do, and send it to you. And you scan that QR code, and then you call me later on a regular phone and say, Alex, can you give me the passcode? So now the information about this SoftNote, which is the access, is passed over two networks, WhatsApp and, for example, let's say Skype. Well, how can you hack that one? How, you know what I mean? So I'm sending you the actual wallet with a serial number, the actual SoftNote, for example, over WhatsApp. And then I'm calling you over the phone and say, Layah, your passcode is UBZ87, blah, blah, blah. You enter it, and the system instantly gives you a new passcode. So mine becomes invalid.
Right.
And a new one I don't know. So I lose access to that wallet. Wallet instantly becomes yours. And when you and me go in Explorer, the old passcode shows up in SoftNote Explorer, well, which is Tectum Explorer, shows up in Tectum Explorer as the previous passcode, which ultimately makes it a proof of payment.
Understood. But the thing which kind of like throws me off a little bit is, you know, you have this physical piece of paper, and it's funny because crypto is very much about making everything digital. You know, it makes it easier for like cross-border payments and everything like that. So why did you choose to go with something physical? Doesn't that kind of like take us back, you know, to where we're coming from? That's how
going back in the Stone Ages, right? Going back into physical.
That's how cash started, right? As like gold were in vaults, and we were given these physical receipts to represent the money that we had. So are we not sort of going back to that?
We kind of are, but just for a minute, just to bridge that gap. there's 8 billion population on this planet, right?
Yeah.
Crypto adopted 650, 660 million, which makes it like this over 8%. Well,
Right.
we've been 16, we're 16 years deep into this era, and we're only 8% adopted. Why?
It's just too difficult, I guess.
Legislation, yeah, we can blame it on that.
No.
Regulators, yeah, we can blame it on that too. But I mean, but look at the utilities we've been wrapped with. We got SECXs, centralized exchange. We got decentralized exchange. We got swaps. We got over-the-counter OTCs. We have ETFs. We have everything, but we just don't have one simple thing.
Which is?
With tactile.
Yeah.
For that 60-year-old lady in Mexico City who sells tacos, and I walk up to her and say, "Can I pay with Bitcoin?" And yes, she does have smartphone. Okay, let's say she does. Let's say she heard of Bitcoin, but she never touched it.
Right.
All her life, she spent counting money and wrapping it, putting it in her pocket, bringing it home, or deposit it in a bank. It is going to be so much easier for the rest of the 7.5 billion people just to touch it first, to understand. Now they can see, like, okay, this is a public key, this is a nominal. Now I understand that this is 1/100th of a Bitcoin. How much is a Bitcoin? $100,000. Oh, that's $1,000. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
It's like a bridge. It's like a bridge in a gap. You know, where it's kind of like educational. SoftNote, in some weird sense, is an educational tool. It could serve as an educational tool.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think, I see that, with people in my own generation anyway, when you try to explain like what is Bitcoin, what is crypto, what is the blockchain, they're like, but I can't see it, I can't touch it. Like, how does it ever even have, value? But of course, if you're able to show somebody something physical, then I think their brains are gonna be able to click with the concept a lot better.
Yeah, and it completely doesn't contradict, and it doesn't go against the concept of digitizing assets. I mean, scan this, download SoftNote app, scan this QR code, import it, and use it as crypto. Nobody prevents you from doing that.
So you can do both. It's not purely physical. It obviously exists in a digital space.
Yeah, of course. It's just a form factor of a web page.
Got it. I mean, it's not that foreign to crypto, because people don't really do it so much, but back in the early days, people
remember those coins. Remember those coins on eBay? Bitcoin coins?
No, I have one of the coins, but I don't think I have that one.
It's got it does have private key.
Yes, I've seen it. Yes, I actually saw it a few years ago. That's funny. Yeah, well, exactly. That's the point. And we had physical paper wallets as well. People prefer that as well a lot of the time, because in some ways it's arguably safer, because like it can't get hacked, because it's completely cold, right? It's basically cold storage.
Well, if you're the only one who's seen that private key, that's the problem.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Private key cannot be changed. This passcode can be changed endless number of times.
So what can people expect from Tectum then for the rest of 2025? Because, I feel like we're just at, I still think we're in a bull market, like 100%. I just feel like we're at this weird crossroads of where we're going to go next, whether it's going to be like whether it's going to be like attention moves towards utility and we get an altcoin season, which I think everybody's waiting for, or whether like we just don't get that at all and we end up with more meme coins. So what can we expect from Tectum, just so people know how to position themselves basically for the next leg, hopefully, that we get of this bull market?
Exactly. I completely agree with you about bull market, because I mean, it was yesterday, I was buying Bitcoin for $26,000.
Yeah.
And now I can sell it for 88, and I am not happy because I cannot sell it for 105. Right. Come on. I mean, you got to be reasonable. When you triple your asset in 1 year, it is called bull market.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, and Bitcoin's sitting at $89,000. It was at 91.
And everybody's complaining.
I know. Well, just Tectum aside, like, where do you think this bull run is going then for the next, what have we got left of the year? Like 9 months left.
One of my role models is John McAfee. You should. I know if you heard his late 2018, 2019 interviews with. I don't remember who was that guy interviewing him. He had a chain of interviews, and he was talking about encryption because he was one of the best cybersecurity guys our civilization ever produced. And he said, guys, do you understand that it's gonna cost over $1 trillion to mine less Bitcoin?
Yeah, it is.
And then we're gonna talk about bull market then, So
no, it's
speaking of, that's what he said, and he's a mathematician.
Yeah.
So about our speaking of our plans, infrastructure, we are all into infrastructure layer. We are all into infrastructure. We're digging deep, on ramp, off ramp. We want people to be able to turn their SoftNote into a debit card with a push of one button.
Nice.
It's not gonna be one button because everybody wants KYC. Banking system requires KYC. AML, KYC. We live in a society which lives by its own rules. We must obey those rules. We must respect those rules. It's going to still find its market because there are people who really want cash right here, right now, or they want to convert cash into crypto right here, right now. And we are committing to produce the mostly seamless and smoothest way to do it in and out, to get cash in and out. We are going to incorporate DEX into our back office. So you'll be able to move between USDT, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Doge. We're adding Doge and Cardano probably in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, great.
To the back office.
Any XRP? So a lot of XRP fans in the comments. I'm just reading the comments as you're speaking.
We're adding those. Then the big thing will be payment processing.
Okay.
We want SoftNotes to spin in a .com mode, in a balance-based mode, to spin between two endpoints, between two nodes connected to two banks, for example, one in Brazil and one in Emirates, to spin with a velocity of 3.5 million transactions per second. Because that's how much Tectum 3.0 produces right now in lab conditions. But we believe we're going to be able to stay over 1 million under any circumstances. But it's not going to be really difficult when you have two commercial partners with really top-notch hardware and a top-notch bandwidth between each other to keep it that high. The best thing about SoftNote remittance model is that it's a real time. It doesn't work like our conventional banking remittance model. Like, for example, when you may have two banks, right? And your bank counteracts with my bank, and I have 10 million users, you have 10 million users, and my users spent $1 billion at your bank, and your users spent $500 million at my bank, right? Well, I'm not going to send you $1 billion if you owe me $500 million, right? We're going to cross balance, and then now you don't have to send me your $500 million you owe me, but we deduct your $500 million you owe me out of $1 billion I owe you, and I only have to send you $500 million.
Right.
But we do it every 24 hours. Until then, we just keep our checks and balances in place. We maintain our ledgers, and normally, normal organizations like Swift do that. Well, SoftNote does it in real time.
Amazing. And
there is no build up. There is no build up. There is no stack waiting for anything for things to happen.
Yeah, no, I understand. Since we're live, I'm actually reading through the comments that people are asking. So I'm going to just ask a couple of them if that's okay with you, Alex.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So a couple of people are asking about the price of the token. It rallied last year and it just, I can't even remember what price it went. Well, what was the all-time high? But I
46.
yeah, I thought it was in the 40s. It just rallied. It did amazing. So people are asking if we can expect the price of the coin to go back to all-time highs or even make new all-time highs this year.
Well, I'm gonna have to answer that question like in a couple stages. First one, obviously, as a team, well-developed team, we need to commit to certain things out of the box, such as buybacks. We're in the process of doing constantly doing buybacks. We're gonna form a buyback account to make it visible. That's a mistake we made as a team. You see, we're a group of engineers. It is sometimes moving from Web 2 space into Web 3 space is painful.
Yeah.
And when we entered Web 3 space, we entered on this rally and everything went up and everybody was excited about SoftNote. But then we ran into the developments which a couple top dogs did, like Solana and a couple other staking models. I don't want to go into details and get personal here.
Yeah.
So we had to learn from them. Right. And we delayed our Tectum 4.0 launch, which caused kind of a little disappointment. People said, well, hold on a second, you promised it last year, you still have not delivered it. We start explaining why. And then we realized that we really need a real Web3 team, which really is capable of explaining and talking to Web3 space about what's really going on. And it took us a while, and now we finally back together. Our team is as solid as it's ever been. We brought 2-3 top-notch managers on board, 2 really good marketers on board, and by the way we are being treated by big guys, we can actually start getting a feel that everything is gonna be it's gonna go very well.
Okay.
Because we're being approached by banks and they're asking questions. They're looking at the SoftNote. They say, "Oh, well, why have not anybody done it before?"
Yes.
And what can I say to him? Say, I don't know. We've been approached by traders, commodity traders. I'm personally here in Dubai, so I go to conferences, I meet people, and I meet with guys who move $500 million worth of commodities per month. And they say, oh, listen, I have to wait for this letter of approval, this credit letter of approval. I have to back it. Money cost is like 6% a year. What's your cost? And when I tell them about operational cost of a SoftNote, they say, well, can we talk again? I said, of course we can talk again. So mass adoption is not looking as something we're thinking of doing at some time. Mass adoption and real true mass adoption and commercial adoption looks like something which is going to happen any day now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I really think so. People need it. Like we keep saying, there's so many new people getting into the space, not just retail, but actual institutions. And the space needs to be ready to scale. It needs to be ready to handle the amount of money flowing into it, right? The demand that now exists and the demand that's only going to increase.
It's only going to increase. It's going to go through the roof. We have lots of people don't realize that. And sorry for interrupted you, but I think that we're not talking about like percent increase. We're talking about X's. Yeah. We're talking about 10, 20 times in a couple of years, because as soon as one thing starts working, as soon as 2 banks on opposite sides of the ocean realize that they can move $1 trillion in Bitcoin in 1 hour, absolutely no friction, they're gonna say, oh my God, why haven't I done it 5 years ago? Yeah. Well, there was no SoftNote 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's just
Sorry,
For
go
us,
ahead.
it's
Finish. No, go ahead.
yeah, it was a less sentence. For us right now, it's like not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was just saying, I think it's very necessary because, we're really moving into a new era when it comes to crypto. We were talking very much over the last few years about these 4-year cycles. And, I sort of don't think these 4-year cycles will exist anymore. Crypto will just become the norm. It won't be like this crypto winter where nobody talks about crypto for 3 years or 2.5 years. It really will be just a constant part of our lives all the time. It's not going to be like bull and bear markets anymore, and perhaps a little bit in price fluctuations, but not in terms of adoption. So yeah, I think it's really interesting that we have these conversations now. So just lastly then, Alex, like how do people use the SoftNote? Like how do they, if they, some of these people listening might think, well, I've got, a few thousand Bitcoin I want to send, a few $1,000 worth of Bitcoin they might want to send. How do they do that using the SoftNote?
Oh, easy. Install an app, transfer
Which app?
Bitcoin. App, SoftNote app,
You
SoftNote wallet.
download SoftNote app on your phone.
Yeah, for Android and for iOS devices.
Okay,
You download the app, you create an account using Apple ID, Google, or if you want to get sophisticated, create a password and everything is. We have done everything in the most conventional yet secure way possible. Like less steps, the better.
Yeah, of course.
And you log in, you transfer Bitcoin in there.
Yeah.
And we actually have two wallets in one. We have SoftNote wallet and crypto wallet. And you transfer crypto into crypto wallet, and then you go into Mint House. And then you mint SoftNotes. You need Tectum token to mint SoftNotes. That's its utility. That's this best and the only utility, in fact. You cannot mint SoftNotes without Tectum token. You must pay with Tectum token to mint a SoftNote. It's very cheap, in fact, but you got to do it. Yeah. And then after you do that, you need to fill it with liquidity. That's the second step. And then it gets filled with liquidity and becomes like this. But well, you have to print it to make it become like this. I did it just so I'd be able to display it and show, but you never have to do that.
You don't have to print it.
No, you absolutely don't have to do it. In fact, we're having talks because SoftNote is just this QR code and the passcode.
Yes, exactly.
That's all it is. You can go to the time machine, potentially go into the time machine, stick $1,000 in there, click button, generate SoftNote, and instead of this, you just get a receipt with a QR code and a passcode, and you have $1,000 SoftNote, which you take a picture of and send it to your friend for their birthday across the ocean over WhatsApp.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, people
instantly.
People are asking in the comments, is there a way to try out this tech? So yes, you download the SoftNote app.
SoftNote app. Download SoftNote app right now.
Yeah. Well, that's so interesting. Did you have any last comments or anything else, regarding the importance of scaling and having these types of scaling solutions? Any last comments that you want to share with us?
Guys, just watch what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Watch what's going to happen. We'll have lots of surprises.
Oh, I'm excited. Good. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think, like I keep saying, now is the time for scaling solutions. I think that really is going to be what sparks the next leg up of this bull run, because everyone is pushing for mass adoption in every country. Like, it's not just in the United States, but the US really drives the world. What the US does, it leads, others copy. So if the US really works to become the crypto hub of the world, the rest of the world is going to follow desperately, and we're going to need these solutions ready. We're going to need them. So I think this is so interesting. How can people follow you guys and stay up to date with Tectum?
SoftNote.com. Everything's on it.
Yeah,
all our links, everything out.
As well?
Yeah. At Tectum is our chat in the Telegram. Tectum Social is our Twitter, x.com account. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. This is SoftNote is going. The first thing SoftNote is gonna do is gonna take crypto to the streets.
Yeah.
It's gonna take crypto to the streets, and then crypto is gonna mess it up because people who would otherwise never use crypto or use crypto 10 years from now, they will start using it now, today. That's what SoftNote is gonna do.
No, I'm so excited. Now is the time. Alex, I want to thank you so much for joining me. You know, like I keep saying, this is the time that we have to talk about these things. You know, the White House meeting is tomorrow. You know, it's time to start scaling and really bringing crypto to the masses. So thank you so much for joining me on this conversation. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for hosting me, Layah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
And guys, don't forget to give Tectum a follow. They're on Twitter. You can check out their website. So now is a really interesting time for scaling solutions. The market is desperately looking for something new. You know, it's looking for something to turn to as the next leg up. And I think it has to be something which goes hand in hand with mass adoption, because that's really where all of our attention is right now. So definitely recommend taking a look and giving them a follow. Alex, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right,
Have
guys.
a good day.
See you
Have a
all
great
for
day.
the stream. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.